Okay, hello everyone. Carly's not going to be in this. This is just an intro. But I did a paranormal chat with my friend Christin, and she is a YouTuber, not really a paranormal YouTuber, but she is more like, I almost said book talk. It's not book talk. We are on YouTube, hello. She reads a lot of books and talks about them. She has like house renovation videos, and she does have paranormal experiences, which is why she was on a paranormal chat, because we talked about ghosts. I need to put a disclaimer in. This was the first paranormal chat that I did at the very beginning of this year, after everything went down that you know about. So the audio is bad. I wasn't recording on this camera. It's literally just a Zoom call. So it's really bad, but the stories are good, okay? So just stick with me, okay? Just stick with it. And I hope you enjoy the video, and go follow Kristen. All of her social medias are linked down below in the description, and I hope you enjoy. Will you enjoy? Yes, bitch.
I think it wasn't last year, it was the year before, when it was like my first year whenever I was starting to decorate for my house and everything. And fall time, you know, is like my favorite time of the year, and I go all out, and that's like the most decorations I have of any holiday. And so I was filming where my like entryway is, and I had my, like, I was filming the table that I have, where it's all like decorated. I posted a picture on my Instagram of it, and out of the corner of my eye, I see this like person walking in my backyard, and my backyard is fenced in. Like, there's a chain fence around the whole thing, so they have to come in through my gate to get into my backyard. And I was like, well, what is my neighbor doing, and who's walking in my backyard? And I go out there, and I see this like person standing, but they're like walking sideways like this way, and they're like blue and white, and then it just went away like that, like so fast. And then I like caught myself. I was like, wait a second, did I just see a ghost, or what happened here? That was so weird. And then it turns out that the person that I saw, I'm pretty positive, is the person that used to live in my house. And I don't know if it was her or if it was my great grandma, because they kind of look similar, but it was like this tall, lanky woman walking in the backyard. She had like a clothesline thing. She didn't die in the house, thankfully, because I would not be in this house if she did. But she passed away in like a nursing home or something. And but like I saw her or something in the backyard. I haven't seen it since, but it was wild, and it like was so weird, 'cause I was actually filming, and I thought I caught it on camera. So when I went back to edit the video, I thought I did, like, I was like freaking out on camera, but you couldn't see it because I had the camera like facing the floor. but but yes, it was really creepy and weird. And I told my mom about it. And then she ended up having a similar thing happen in her backyard. So it was like really crazy how that happened.
About 2 weeks ago, Jordan was dropping me off, and it was like 9 o'clock at night, so it was dark here. And I go into my house through the garage, so I open the garage door, and Jordan is looking in the garage, and he was like, "What's your mom doing out there?" And I was like, "What are you talking about? It is 9 o'clock at night. My mom is inside asleep. Like, she don't stay up that late." He was like, "There's a human in your garage." And like standing by the door, he said he saw like a shadow that walked like in front of the car and disappeared. And I was like, don't start freaking me out, because I'm gonna make you walk me to my door. Like, that's creepy. And so he was like, okay, let's go. And so we walk up to my door, and I was like, okay, there's nothing here. And then he went to walk away, and I went to grab the doorknob, and the doorknob like aggressively jiggled. And I
Oh,
turned around and I go, Jordan. And he turned around and goes, what? I was like, the doorknob is jiggling. And he was like, and like to open it's like a thick door. So like when you open it, you have to turn it and like push. And I was like, what the hell? And Jordan was like, well, maybe your mom and dad are up, and like they were just like walking past the door. And I was like, no, like it is a sturdy door. Like walking past it isn't just gonna make the doorknob jiggle. So I go inside, and everyone's asleep. And I was like, I'm gonna go to my room and pretend that that never happened.
yes. So that was like really creepy. I don't know how to explain what happened.
Yeah. It's like the ones that can't be explained are just the creepiest, and you are like, we're going to pretend it didn't happen, and it was dark out and I was spooked.
I actually have a update. So if nobody knows, my mom did pass away last year and in August, and I've had some encounters with her. She was like really into the paranormal, so she was a medium. So she was very excited whenever she passed away. She was very excited to do all the things and like be able to speak to people from the other side and all that stuff. And my dad actually had a very crazy thing happen when we were at my grandma's house. He has been trying to figure out what to do with his wedding ring because he doesn't know. He doesn't want it to be still on his ring finger, but he wants to be able to still have it. And so he put it on his pinky. And we went to my grandma's house just to hang out there that day. I think we were putting a piece of glass into my grandpa's store, and um, my grandma was like, "Oh, I need you to help me take these mats out of my car." So he put them away and went to go clean up something with paper towels and went to throw the paper towels away in their like burner thing outside. And when he went to throw it away, he went like this, and the ring flew off of his thing and into all the ashes and nastiness that was in this burner. And he was like, "I have to get that ring back." And we even tried like a metal thing because it's a titanium and everything, and we could not. It took him for like a 5-10 minutes to find it, and he finally found it and had ash like all over him. And then we're sitting there driving down back on the way to the house, and he looks down at his phone because a thing popped up, and his background has always been him and my mom together at like one of their trips that they took, and the picture changed to my mom going like this on her 50th birthday, and her like going like, "Haha, got you," and like basically just like changed his photo on his phone out of nowhere.
That is insane.
Yes. So my brother and now his fiance, because they just got engaged in Colorado, they were in this like little hut thing that my mom had, and she has like a fish tank in there, and um with like these crazy looking fish in there. And they were just sitting there one time, and they went like the lights were doing weird things, but they've always been doing weird things in there. And then all of a sudden one of the fish like jumps out of the tank and lands in Brandy's hood of her jacket, and she's like freaking out like, "Oh my gosh, get the fish, get the fish." And it was just crazy. And then like, so I forgot what else happened after that, but it was like they got a sign from my mom being like, "That was me messing with you with the fish," and like, and she just like has been doing weird random things like that ever since she passed away. And it's like, and then actually we had to flush her. I don't know what my dad did with it, but she had a puffer fish, and he jumped out of the tank, and we didn't find him in time. But the last time he did it, we found him because the dog kept going over there like, "There's something over here." And then we saved him that time, but this time nobody paid attention to the tank soon enough, so we had to say goodbye to him.
I had a fish like that once. Last year I had a fish tank and the fish just went missing in the tank. And we were like looking on the floor, looking behind the dresser, because like the fish tank was up on a dresser, and we
Mhm.
were like looking for it and we just couldn't find it. And I was like, how? Like it was a guppy, but it was like a bigger sized guppy. And I was like, where'd it go? And never found it. Like
That's
it
what
was.
we she has two like Nemo looking fish, and one of them like disappeared, and we think one of the other fish ate him, but we have no idea where like he went. He just disappeared out of the tank, and we could never find him.
Do you have any other experiences with your mom?
I'm trying to think. I should have thought some more about them before I started this live, but I'm trying to think of anything that she's done. Like I know she's been doing a lot of like musical things, like she'll come and do songs and things. Like the day that me and Brandy were going to Starbucks one morning, and she was feeling down and I was feeling down, and I drove to the house with no music on, and then she got in the car and we're driving down the road, and she's saying how like sad she feels that morning and is so excited for her Starbucks. And then the song Hold On by Justin Bieber just starts blasting like super loud, and I had no music on, and we're just like, well, we have to listen to it because this is a sign. This is her. And that's like, I'm trying to think of other ones that I mean, I've had a couple of weird creepy dreams that like I had this dream the other night with her, that it was almost like her telling me something about mirrors and like how they could like ghosts could like jump through the mirrors like portals or something. And I was like, I was so freaked out. I could barely go back to sleep after that because it just creeped me out too much. And so I was like scared because it was like a dream that like I had a mirror in my room, which I used to a long time ago. And we think that actually happened a couple of times because I had a friend stay the night one time in my old room, and uh, she set her plate down on the little side table next to her, and the plate flew across the room. And my mom went upstairs and went into my closet and found an orb going around in my closet and filmed it and everything.
There's a theory that spirits can basically use mirrors as portals. And
Mm-hmm.
so there's like a legend saying that you're not supposed to sleep with a mirror facing your bed because
Mm-hmm.
when you're asleep, the spirits will like come through and like do bad things to your soul or something. And I have a mirrored vanity that faces my bed, and then I have like a closet mirror over
Mm-hmm.
there, like right there, and it faces my bed. And I'm just like, well, if it happens, it happens.
That's why
Like,
I used to have a really big, like rectangular mirror, like that faced my bed in my old room. But I that mirror is actually back at my parents' house because I didn't know what to do with it in my house. So I don't have any mirrors right now in my room.
yeah, some people are super, they'll like cover up their mirrors at
Mhm.
night because they really believe that something can come through. And I also believe that when you believe something so
And
hard, you can
yeah.
manifest it.
Hmm.
And so they could possibly be like manifesting spirits coming through their mirrors and stuff. I don't think a spirit has ever come through my mirror, and I hope one never does. At least a bad one. Like if it's a good one and it just wants to hang out, I'm sure we can have a good time. But I also believe that spirits can come to you in your dream because you're a lot more susceptible to it. And um like when you're awake and something happens, your conscious is like debunking everything. So then they'll come to us in our dreams and usually terrify us. And
Yeah.
my sister did that. You remember me talking about how she like came to me and like floated down from the sky.
Hmm.
And yeah, that creeped me out. And thankfully there hasn't been any more like that that have creeped me out. But
Like I go through phases with my dreams. Like sometimes I'll have really good funny dreams where I'll like dream that I'm hanging out with my favorite YouTubers or something, and then there's dreams where it's like really creepy and weird, and I'm just like, okay, this is not what I wanted to dream about.
like last night I had a dream that Carly was there, and me and her, we were trying to take pictures of the moon. And every time we would start taking pictures of the moon, my camera would start flying up in the air and we would be going with it. And then like it would stop and we would just plummet to the ground. Like we would be like hundreds of feet up in the air and we would just fall back to the ground. And then we would be fine though. Like we'd hit the ground and just be like, oof, okay. And then we would try again. And I woke up and I was like, what? Like
Like
you
I had a similar dream to that where like I was like I I don't know what happened, but I've been next not tomorrow, but next Saturday I'm going to see Miranda Sings, and I'm so excited because it's my second show I've ever seen of her. And so I've been like building up, like I'm like so stressed that I'm not gonna make it on time and like all these other things. And I had like a dream where I was like trying to hurry up and get to, like I missed the VIP meet and greet thing that I have. And I was like trying to work with the people at the place. It wasn't even the same venue in my dream. It was like a hotel ballroom like thing or something. And then it turned out like something happened, and my mom was actually in that dream, and she was like trying to help me out. And then like I got something happened where the people didn't want me to be there or something, and so they like were chasing after me, and I went into full like GTA mode and was like jumping through the through the like garden area and like the flower beds and stuff, and like jumping like I was like a video game character. And I was like, what in the world am I doing?
and then like you wake up from those dreams and you're like, what just happened?
Yes.
Speaking of that woman that you saw in your backyard, have
Mhm.
you had any other experiences with her possibly being in the house?
No. And what's also crazy is that when I was moving in and we were trying to figure out all the renovations and stuff, we found a sage stick inside of the house. So we think that she was like a believer in the same stuff that we like, and then like to do the saging and everything like that. And she also I think we also think that she was helping guide the, I think it was her son that we were working with to get the house. And she I think she was like putting in his ear like, yes, this girl is the good person that needs to have this house and everything, like helping me be able to be the one to own the house and stuff.
And then with like spirits and stuff, like when you renovate houses that used to be theirs,
Hmm.
sometimes it can stir up activity. So I wonder if like she was just popping in to like see what's going on and then
Yeah.
decided that she liked it and then was like, I'm at peace now. Like they're not
Yes.
destroying the
That,
house.
because I feel like because she did not renovate anything, and this house was built in like middle 90s. And like she everything was like the carpet was the same, so when I ripped it up it was like dusty and musty and gross. And then and like the walls were all like this like shade of like light pink. And then my I still need to get my bathroom counters redone because they look like there's like pink stripes in one of them that almost looks like somebody smeared toothpaste into the like actual like cement of the thing. It's like pink stripes all over it, and then the other one's blue. And I'm like, this looks like somebody just like made toothpaste art on my countertops. I need to get it something new. And then I did take out one of the beams in the kitchen so I could have a better light and stuff. And then I put the microwave wasn't above the oven like they are now, and so I put my microwave up there. So I've done different things to it, but I've also like made it more like how it like modernized it instead of it being like how it was before, or like making it look crazy.
Yeah, I can tell that it from when you started until now, it looks a lot more like with the times
Hmm.
instead of how it was back then.
The color of the house, I changed the whole outside because it had never been updated on the like it was like rotting away basically, and it was this ugly green color, and I'm just like, I'm not about to live in an ugly forest looking green color house. I had to change the color of it.
So, have you ever been to like any haunted places?
Oh yes, the hotel that we went to when we went to Colorado, and it was all like creepy and stuff. Like it the light was flickering outside, like it was a Stranger Things moment, and the elevator was like literally so small, and all like rickety and stuff, and it was a normal like Hampton Inn, like Holiday Inn type place. So it was like just very like, I guess that they never updated it or something, but it was very creepy. And then also I used to go to this place called Petty Jean Mountain that is in Arkansas. Yes, Arkansas. And there's like a story about this girl that wanted to go be with this guy, but she couldn't go overseas with him unless you could only be a boy to go on the boat overseas to go look for more land. And she ended up like disguising herself as a boy and then went overseas with him and ended up with like the flu or something. And the Indians and all of them were wanting to make this mountain named after her and stuff. And before she passed away, she actually told the guy who she was. And like so the whole mountain is all on her. And then but when we went there, we went to like this like place that looked like a ruin. I think it used to be a YMCA or something. I don't really remember, but it has like just like broken down walls everywhere, and you take pictures and stuff there. And I happened to take my mom took a photo of me in front of this doorway, and beside me you can see like a silhouette of a soldier just standing next to me. And we found, I forgot what his name is, but we found like we sent in the info to the people that own the mountain area and stuff. And we're trying to figure out who he actually was, and we found like old photos of him with his family and stuff and figured out who he was. And then they also had there like used to be like a little schoolhouse, rundown schoolhouse you could see from the cabin that we stayed at. And they had a thing going around where if you found a white flag in your yard, it signified that there was a sick person in your house. But that was like back in like the 1800s, early 1900s type thing. And so now they don't do that anymore. But sometimes people will find it just in their yard randomly. And it's so weird. It's like I think they used to go around like on a horse and like drop them off in people's yards. I haven't ever seen them in people's yards from when we went, but I remember hearing the stories because they have like a travel, like, what is it called? Like, you go like a little place that you can go in, like a little building that you get all the information, and they have a bunch of like arrowheads and like all the background on the Indians that live there and different things like that. And there's like trails you can walk to waterfalls and stuff. It's a really nice, pretty place.
Are there any places like on your bucket list that you want to go to?
Not really like, well, I didn't really want to go in there, but I have been to the Zach Bagans Museum in Vegas.
I want to go so bad.
I took a picture there when we went to Vegas. We had like, I think that was either when we had the car that, no, we got into an Uber and we went over there, and I took a picture in front of it, and literally like an hour before I took that photo, he was actually outside, like seeing fans that were walking in or doing something. There was nobody there. I don't think it was open yet, but he was actually there that morning. And I was like, "Are you kidding me? I could have met him." Oh, I do have an interesting story though. I don't know if you've ever watched Paranormal State with Ryan
Yes.
Buell.
Yes.
That was my mom and I's first ever like paranormal show we watched, and that's what sparked our interest in everything. And like all of his stuff where he like basically got lost all of his fans because he took everybody's money from the DVDs that he sold and went and bought drugs with it and stuff and got into a whole situation.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, it was like, and so that's why he like basically lost everything. And I still follow him on Facebook just to see what he's up to, and he's been doing paranormal stuff again lately. And his first house residential paranormal thing that he went to in like 12 years was a couple of weeks ago. And he was like, we're going to a secluded area in Tennessee, and we are going and we're not going to say where we're going because we don't want to disturb the privacy of the people that we're going to help. And he's filming a video of him driving down the road, and he's straight up 20 minutes away from me. And literally like in the town that my grandma and my dad grew up in. And I'm like, I know that building. That's my dad's old shop. That's my old grocery store I go to. Like, I knew everything. And that same weekend I was actually going to Arkansas to Hot Springs for the weekend for the horse races. And so I was like really wanting to go and try to find him around the thing. But also I think I might have seen him in Lowe's parking lot, right? I didn't know that he was coming there. And me and my neighbor happened to drive through the parking lot to go get to a restaurant. And there was a paranormal, like private investigator, paranormal truck outside in Lowe's. And I was like, wait, is that who that is? But she was making a joke going, we should go and investigate the investigators. And I was like, no, we're not going into Lowe's. And then it clicked. It's like 2 days later, I was like, wait, that might have been him. And I could have ran into him and everything. But it was wild. I was like, out of all the places that he could have gone to, I thought he was going to be like in Gatlinburg or like in Nashville or something, and he comes to the town that I grew up in. Like, are you serious?
That would be so cool, like just randomly running into a paranormal investigator.
Yes.
I wonder what he was doing at Lowe's though.
I don't know, maybe to get more like equipment or something. I don't know, because that was also like 2 towns out back from where he like actually was doing the thing at the house, because it was in like the little town up there, but they're like 20 minutes apart from each other. So I don't know, unless they were getting something for their camera equipment, like a wire or something. I don't know, what, like lights or something. I have no idea.
I don't know. So real quick, I want you to tell me about all of the books you've been reading since you're big on reading on YouTube.
Yes. So I got myself into Throne of Glass series, and I've been tabbing them like crazy. I've only read the first 2 books. I'm taking a break for this month for middle grade March so I can catch up, because I am very behind on my 120 books that I'm trying to read this month, or not this month, this year. And I also got the 3rd book of the 13 Witches series, which is very, very good. I really like this series, and it just came out, and this was the ending, and it made me cry, and I had like goosebumps at the end, and I was so sad because I did not know this was going to be the last book of it. And when I read the ending, I was just like, no, this can't be the end. But it did end on a good note and everything, but like it was just, I was not expecting that to be the last book. And then I read that I got into Colleen Hoover books, and I read that It Ends With Us and Starts With Us, and also this one, Layla. I read this one, and this is very paranormal esque, and it's very creepy. And uh, and then what else? Oh, and I'm reading this. On my Kindle, I'm reading this series called the Samantha Wolf Mysteries, and they're like little middle grade, like 2.5 hour books that take like not long to read it all. And there's like 12 of them, and they're all free on Kindle Unlimited. So I've been reading those to catch up on my numbers of books I've read. And then I'm also rereading the Book Scavenger series. That's a really good series. And I got myself back into Animal Crossing on my Switch. I don't know if you play that game.
I don't, but Carly has a Switch too, and she just got Animal Crossing, and we FaceTime every night, and she just sits there and plays it, and she was like, I'm in the water, and she'll just say like the most, like, we'll be dead quiet. I'll be like on my computer or something, and she'll be like, oh, I just walked into my door. And I'm like, what are you doing? So thank you so much for coming on here and being my first guest as me being a solo YouTuber.